And there's the confetti. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, I am so excited. We're going to have the August Content Creators Meetup, and just so excited to have my guest on here tonight. I'm going to introduce them real quick, and then we will just get into our topics. And just thank you to all my friends out there in the audience who are out there tonight. Thank you for coming. And first of all, we have Gretchen, image by Gretchen. Gretchen, tell us your claim to fame here. Tell us.
Oh, my claim to fame. Hey, I am a photographer and a storyteller. I'm a retired school librarian and elementary teacher, and I have a really huge passion for the lessons and the beauty of the literature of children's literature, of what it can do. And it's not just for kids. It takes something for everybody, and that's what I do with my channel. But then my other big love is photography. My grandmother gave me my first camera when I was 10, and it was hers, and I never gave it back. So,
Awesome.
And she never asked for it back. So it still works. It's still sitting back there, and it still works. It's right back there.
All right. Awesome. And we have David Hunt. Tell us your claim to fame, sir.
Yes. My claim to fame is very, very, very simple. I am just a guy trying to make the world a better place. And I use my skills. So basically, my hands, my voice, and my heart, powered by love, to make life better. So I do that by utilizing live streaming and music and a little bit of technology thrown in. And that's what I do by here on the internet. But when I am working, I work for a nonprofit, and I am the IT director for that nonprofit. And so we do a lot of stuff with computers, making the world a better place with the tech. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
All right. That's awesome stuff. Now, I forgot to do the applause and the confetti. I'll catch you. I'll get back to you on those. Okay. So if anybody is familiar with our creator meetups, we kind of talk. We start off with the origin stories, and so I'm gonna go to Gretchen first. And Gretchen, tell us how you got started with your content creation journey. How did you wind up saying, you know what, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, or I might want to do Instagram. What kind of led to that? And this is when she froze.
Well,
Oh, there she is. Hang on, let's try another scene and see if you unfreeze. There we go.
well, I had. Are we still there? Okay.
Yep.
There we go. Well, I had a YouTube channel before I started live streaming, and I had my website with my photography, and it was during the pandemic, and Art Storefronts, we were all trying to figure out how we could get our stuff out there. And I was trying to figure out live streaming, which was, I didn't have any access to Ecamm yet, didn't know about it, but I was using Animoto and different other kind of things and creating slideshows and putting them on YouTube. And if some of my really early terrible stuff is that. But then I kind of fell into, I think it was a CETA or Lita with Live Streaming Pros, and did that. And then I introduced to Ecamm and thought, okay, this is going to work. This is actually going to work, and I can figure this out. And I started by showing my photographs and thought I was going to be doing editing and showing people how to edit. And I was watching someone else one time, a fluid artist, and I made a comment that I said, that looks like a photograph that I have of, like, this reminds me of an octopus. And she said, oh, show it to me and show it on your channel. So I did. And then I had to show a book that I got the idea from hers. And it was an Eric Carle book. And they said, read it. And I read it that night. And then they said, come back tomorrow. And I read it next night. And 367 days later, I was still reading almost live every night. I mean, I did have like 20% of that first year was premieres, but I still had a show every night. Wow. And I have a notebook that has my log I'm up to 520 shows. I now only do twice a week, but I still read picture books, and I talk about the author and the illustrator and what their backgrounds are. And then I share the stories with these people that keep coming back, and they call themselves the bucket filling brigade because the stories fill their bucket, and they can go on for the week and fill somebody else's bucket. And it's just a delight to be able to share. uh, I love I have one best customer of the year for the largest children's bookstore in the Northwest many times. and and it's not because
Amazing.
I'm such a good customer. It's because I buy the most books.
Wow.
And I have library cards for several libraries, and that's what I do.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Oh wow. So, David, let's we're gonna go to you now. I want to hear what your origin story is. Tell us how you got started.
Well, I have been live streaming and doing content now for just been about 4 years. And so for me, it was an extension, an encouragement from Doc Rock and Kirk Nugent. Those were the two guys really that sort of kind of kicked me in behind the head. Let's say,
Yeah.
kicked me in the behind to get me started, because like they said, listen, David, you have gifts and talents, and you can tell your story in a certain, only I can tell my story. And so that's the reason. And also live streaming pros too. Luria and the crew over there were really instrumental in getting me going. And it was November of 2020, I believe, is when I really did my first live stream. And I don't like videos. I don't like editing. The editing process is not for me. So live streams have been what I do, and I just get to in the more. I was going 5 days a week, just playing songs and doing some inspiration, and people keep coming back. So I
Yeah.
guess they see the value in it, and it's really been a treat to do. And sometimes I sing, but I don't like how I sound when I sing, so I I try not to do so much of it. But so that's the bottom line. And and as I was telling you earlier, it's using the hands, the voice, to make a difference in the world. And if I can help somebody as I go along, then that makes it all the worthwhile for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You have some pretty long days, David. I will see you playing like 6:30 in the morning on a live stream, and then you're sending me messages at 11:30 at night. So you do sleep, right? I just want to verify that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do sleep. I do
Yeah, and
sleep. There have been nights when I get less sleep than normal, but usually I get about 6 hours.
yeah.
Usually I get about 6 hours.
I was gonna say, so you need to go over to Gretchen's channel on Sunday nights, especially, and she'll read you a bedtime story. Well, she'll read you 2 or 3 bedtime stories actually. So
Yeah.
I really
We
enjoy
have that
going
in
over
common.
there. So yeah, I like going over to your channel and hearing your stories. And here in a few minutes, we're gonna introduce their channels. If you don't already follow these people, I'm gonna say why. What is wrong with you? You should be following both of these. And you get up
It's
early, and then you stay up late for Gretchen because she's on West Coast time, and David's on East Coast time with me. So you gotta get up early, 6:30, and listen to his and give him some super chats, and then go over to Gretchen and go hear a bedtime story over her channel. So
it's interesting that David and I have similar type things because my degree is in oral interpretation of literature.
mhm.
So it's the use of the voice, and I will constantly. I mean, that's the people just die. Because I will, if there's different characters, especially if it's animal, I'll change the characters up, and I can do different kind of accents and voices. And on St. Patrick's Day, I don't come. I have a distant relative, Mrs. Shepherd, that comes and reads the stories because Mrs. Shepherd gets a wee bit cranky on that day. So she's no fun to have around. And so it's just so much fun because I just get to be a total kid and do all kinds of crazy things that it makes them laugh, and it's happy. It's great. It's that thing to lift people up. I think that's a common thing that we do. And I don't like editing either, David. I don't know. I edit photos. I love that. But I don't like editing video. No.
Yeah. All right. So everybody stick around because we're going to talk. The next challenge is we're going to ask about challenges that we've all had as creators. But we're going to do it. Let's see all the shout outs. There's a lot of people in the chat. So let's go see what they're all talking about. All right. Come on, computer. Let's go. All right. So, I got to move. All right. First up. Mommy God, this is awesome. Awesome topic and guest today. Hey, la. Matt and Seven. Hey, David and Gretchen. Hello, Seven. Sven. Sorry, Sven. I will say it correctly. Sven. I bet it's Sven. Yes. Welcome. Matt Haas. Rocket. Lala's awake. Yes, Dan. Lala never sleeps. I'm completely convinced I can go on at any hour of the night and Lala's probably live, doing one of her 16-hour live streams. So, hey, Gretchen and Roy. Hey, Dan. Great wise. Yes, I definitely agree. Hey, Dan. Oh, no, not Dave Hunt. A man whose name has been more protested by PETA than SeaWorld. Hey, Roy. Hey, Tiny Picky. Welcome. Benny, how are you doing tonight? Hey, welcome. Hey, they were saying hi to everybody. Matt Haas is showing strength. I don't know there. He's showing off his arm. Florence, how you doing? Benny, Pierre. Yes, Lita definitely had an impact on a lot of us. That's how I got my start as well. So those live stream pros, folks, Luria and them, they just cause so much trouble by trying to help people. And there you go. Yep. Hey, Tiny Piggy. Hey, Benny and Florence. Hope all is well, Pierre. Let's see. I love Gretchen is able to incorporate her passions in art and storytelling like they absolutely go together. That's because they do go together. You got mistaken for James Hicks and rolled with it. Hey, everyone.
Oh,
Sammy.
Sammy.
Tall Boy. Yep, Sammy and Tall Boy. Mama God Inc. The OG is here. Yep. Sammy Subs are awesome with things. Pierre Kelly. Yep. Tanya Smith is the OG. Lala is Mother Time. Gretchen San Diego?
No. I'm outside of Seattle.
It's been a long time since I've been to Seattle. So I've been to, Pier 39 and the original Starbucks. That's, I was in Bothell for work there for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah. Loving the background with the education theme. Yeah. I try to match the theme with the guests. That's what I always try to do. So check out David. Yes, there's David. Thank you, Lala. Also, if you would put there's Gretchen's channel for me. Thank you, Lala. So she's already put the links in there. Thank you so much for doing that. Laura, how you doing tonight? Hi, Laura. I'm here. I sleep a lot. Haha. Matt Haas tomorrow is going to be the Ecamm fam guest tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern on Ecamm Live. So, Mary Lou, what a squad. Yay, welcome. Hey, everyone. Matt, I'll watch you later. Excited for your Ecamm Live guest. Yeah. Mary Lou, got to catch the last part of your live stream. Yeah. I was in Seattle last year, Smart Sheet Conference. So, yeah. David, I was going to go back to you because you mentioned, let me make Matt's comment go away. Awesome teacher. Anyway, you mentioned that you were strongly influenced by Kirk and also by Doc Rock. Those guys have a lot in common, but also they are polar opposites. So that is just interesting that those guys influence you. And I know that, Doc is always about tough love, and I know Kirk's been on the show, Doc's been on the show too. Both those guys are awesome. So I mean, how do you juxtaposition those two personalities to come up with the the influence that they've given you.
Well, I mean, it's different. I think Kirk more by example, and I was hanging with him in other circles as well.
Yeah.
Kirk used to do a Friday night, late night, just a group of friends
Yeah.
just hacking it up on the internet, and it really allowed me to see the power of live, right? From a personal, because I from a personal level, because I was on the show, and that, in addition to, on the one side we have that, and then there's Doc, who is just like, yo, if you've been living more than 30, 40 years, you got something to say. just
Yeah.
just get it together already, and get out there and just start. You never know what's going to happen. I've had shows where I didn't have an agenda, and so there's this on Fridays I do a show where it's free form. People can put their songs on there. If I know it, I'll play it. If I don't know it, I'll try to listen to it and learn it and play it. And it's been really interesting. I've
Oh.
written songs live. It's been just an amazing experience. But if I hadn't done any of it, I would have missed out on those
Yeah.
opportunities, right? You miss out on, you get zero for all the opportunities that you don't take,
Oh yeah.
right? So I have really been blessed to be part of Doc's community, and also for Kirk. And so they've really helped to shepherd me. Kirk talks, he said, he has this line, he says that you have to shepherd your story,
Mm.
right? The things that you've gotten over, the things that you've overcome are the sweet spot, your secret sauce for sharing with others and helping them get over. And so that is one of the things that I have really taken to heart, and it's helped me even to get started and to move on. One more thing I will say, this is one other thing Kirk said recently. He said, whenever you leave your house, you're live. You go to the grocery store, you're live. People are seeing you because you're living, all right? And so for live streaming, the three of us, Gretchen, Roy, myself, we're live because now we've put a camera in front of it. So for live streaming, you just put a camera in front of it, and that makes a difference for telling your story. You're telling your story every time you leave your house.
Yeah.
So might as well just, own it and just own the square and do it. So yeah, that's what I would say about both Doc Rock and Kirk. They have been phenomenal in
Yeah.
just making sure you have the tools. And Kirk and Doc, even though they're different personalities,
Mhm.
they still have this one thing in common. They don't let stuff slide.
Now that's true.
They'll call you out. They'll
They will
call you
call
out
you
on
out.
it.
They will definitely will. Yes,
They
they
will
will.
call you out. So
Yeah, I
I've
love
been
it
on
with
the
those guys.
I've been on the end with Doc and with Kirk. It'd be like,
Oh, me too.
you said you were gonna do this. Show me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Gretchen, my question I have for you is, so you're reading these books live and you're showing the illustrations in the book. Is there any kind of issues with that? Do you have any kind of legal ramifications, or do you have like anybody reach out and say, "Hey, wait, you're reading my book live. Who's going to want to buy my book after you read my book on the air and you show all the
Uh,
illustrations?"
well, I considered that because being a librarian, first off, I have to agree with David. Doc is the one who's given me my nickname of Gangsta Grandma, and and he, he he's the one who, like, it was tough love with that. And I as consistent as my stories have been, reading them, working with Doc every weekend has been that way too in our group. And so it's a big deal. But the as a librarian, I understand, the copyright and whatnot it is. What I'm doing is my station is not monetized at all, or my channel is not. So, and probably would never monetize it because of that possible issue. I almost always put in a link to the author and the illustrator's websites, however to reach them. I haven't had a publisher company come and question it all. I've had, I did read a William Carlos Williams, The Red Wheelbarrow, the famous poem, The Red Wheelbarrow. I read that and I got a message from the institute that manages his trust and everything and thanking me for putting it out there. Well, I was very pleased with that. But yeah, that was kind of a big deal. I was like, whoa, but I have not had that issue. If you look in storytelling, there's a lot of people out there that are reading them in some ways. I'm just doing it in a little different way that I'm talking about not only the illustrator and the author and how they've come together, and trying to educate people a little bit about children's literature in itself, and also showing parts of history that those picture books can share with us, tell us about, that never have made it into our history books, There is a vast wealth of knowledge out there in picture books that about people go, what? I didn't know. You mean there were horseback librarians in the 30s and they did in the Appalachians and what? And there was the main folk art of the United States was started in the Black culture, and you just what? They just don't. The things that never make it into our history books make it into picture books. And then I get to celebrate banned book week with yay, and I read all of them as many as I can.
That's exactly what I would do.
They're banned for stupid reasons, and
yeah. So definitely, it does trip me out.
Yeah.
All right.
I like what Mama Guide Inc. Lala is saying in the comments, that the books that Gretchen shows are truly awesome, most of which have great messages, and yes, sometimes even history. And you can get that. I really like that. And telling the story sometimes means that you have to face the truth of the past. And as you're truthful about your past, it informs your present so that your future could be better. And I think that's very, very powerful. Thank you, Gretchen, for doing that and just paving the way for others. So you're showing a roadmap for others and what they can do with your content, and that's fire. Powerful.
It's a delight, because you get to experience culture that is so different from maybe what you grew up and what you didn't see and you had no notion of. And it's done in a story that is, first off, a picture book has to, be willing to entice the 5 to 8 year old or 3 to 8 year old who's going to read it or look at it, entice the parent who's going to have to read it night after night after night after night if it becomes his favorite book. And it has to be done within 32 pages. The story has to have a beginning, middle, and end, and be done in 32 pages, no more, no less, and not have too much text on a page. Otherwise, it'll flop. And it is a tough thing to write. And it's just amazing to find that there are so many good books out there. So many.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
Great stuff.
And I've read 2,000 since I started this, and I've only scratched the surface.
There's a lot of books out there, yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about content creation challenges. What are some challenges that you guys have run into? And David, if you're okay with it, I'll start with you first. And see what you come up with there. Tell me, because I might, for example, I've been on a live stream and my Bluetooth went out, and of course my mouse and my keyboard was Bluetooth, and so I literally can't do anything except just be on camera. The camera's still working, the mic's still working, So I'm like, while on camera, hunting around for a keyboard, find a USB, plug it into my Mac, turn off Bluetooth, turn it back on, the keyboard and the mouse come back, and then I just keep on going as if nothing happened. And I've had lots of other crazy stuff happen where I live stream for 20 minutes, muted. My friends are out there telling me, Roy, you're muted, but I like excited about my topic and I'm trying to cover it and everything. And let me talk about it. And then I'm like, I guess I got to do that again. So,
Well, there are there are challenges and then there are challenges, right? But being muted, that's one I think we've all had. We've all had to deal with that. Well, maybe Gretchen, she's perfect, grandma, so she doesn't have that problem. But I've had that problem, and
I did
you
an
switch
hour-long
scenes
show
or
muted once.
okay,
I was
you pick.
editing photos for an hour on mute. Yeah, not good.
Wow, not good at all. So pay attention to the comments. And the other thing is that I've had my camera go out. In fact, this morning when was it this morning or yesterday? No. Yeah, yesterday morning, my piano camera for this shot didn't come on at all. It would not turn on. I unplugged it, turned it off, turned it on, unplugged the cable at the other end, turned it off, turned it on. It would not go. So I had to just do the show with this view. And it was interesting when I'm just playing the piano. It's weird. I want people to see that I'm playing the piano. But uh, that was one. And so you just have to continue on. Life happens. And so you make the best of it. When you have lemons, right? You make lemonade. So I've had things like that happen, muted, cameras going out. Or the other thing that I've had, and this is a hack, you have to get Speedify. So for me, for a while, I just moved to this house in May, and I didn't have a run for Ethernet, and so I had to I was on Wi-Fi, and all the pundits say don't go live with Wi-Fi, and so I had to finally I was able to get an Ethernet line, but all those streams have jittery video. The audio is fine, but the video would pixelate and just not work. And so now I have Speedify, and it bonds my Wi-Fi, my Ethernet, and my cell phone signal so that I get a solid line all the way through. And it goes up and it goes down, but it's just solid line that makes a difference. So get Speedify. And I think that's where I'll stop.
now, what about like creation challenges? Like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. My next show, I have no idea what I'm gonna do for my next show. What's your kind of creative process to kind of prepare for every live stream, every recorded, anything you do in a creative nature like that?
Yeah, so for me, it's my Friday live streams where it's freeform Friday. So anything goes, and I've had people suggest songs that I was like, oh man, I hadn't thought of that song for a long time. So I add that to my repertoire, and so I have a list, a Google Keep note where I write down songs that people have suggested, and I would circle back to that song as part of my. I used to do Monday and Wednesday were prepared, um, curated by me. I would pick the songs and play those, and I would use my Friday live stream as a way to get new material. And people would put songs in the chat as I'm playing, and if I know it, I'd just play a little piece of it and put it in there. But I have those curated before the stream starts. So I know that, okay, I'm playing this song for 5 minutes, I'm playing this next song for 2 minutes, and that's my run of show. And I use that as a hack so I don't have to come back later and add those in to my the chapter markers.
Hmm.
So that's one way I've um, helped to hack the system. Put
Yeah.
the timestamps in before, and sometimes I miss. Okay, I'm playing this song. I can't cut it right here. I have to finish the chorus, so I play the chorus out, and then I have to make a mental note to go back and actually edit where that's it. I went 5 minutes and 25 seconds instead of 5 minutes.
Mm.
That sort of a thing. There are a few videos out there that I may not have gotten back to them yet, but eventually, eventually I will. And so, the creative process, at least at first, it was tough, but now I've sort of kind of have a system where the last few weeks I've actually gone, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just ask me anything. I'll play your songs, answer your questions, and usually something magical happens.
Mm.
In fact, during Christmas, I actually wrote a song. It's like, Christmas is better without okra. Just because someone asked me for an okra song and I didn't have one. For the record, I don't like okra. It should be. Anyway, but we could talk about that's a whole
Yeah,
whole
gross.
another, not not triggering anybody today.
Terrible stuff.
No,
It's
we're not
another
doing it.
episode. We're going to come back and talk about vegetables we don't like on a future episode. So everybody tune in for that. Gretchen, I got so many people in chat. Let me go check on them real quick, and then I'm coming back to you. So you got to tell us the challenges that you've gone through. So let's see what everybody says. All right, let's see. Let's see. Tallboy says the power of lives allow you to connect with an audience that they never knew they had access to. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Dan says I got to connect with schools in Nigeria, one of the great joys of my life.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's so good.
And Mommy Guy's saying what we all say. Yes. Oh my, Doc Will. Tough love for sure, but often we need that. So yeah, he's called me out a few times. So yeah, I've been called out by Doc many times, but all he said was actually on point. They helped me so much. Yeah. Doc is coming from a place of love. It's tough love, but it is a place of love. So
Place of love, yeah.
Dan says Roy must be listening to a lot of Coldplay because he's all in yellow. It's just my Crater Camp shirt from last year. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm
that
going to
was.
Crater Camp. So that was such an amazing time.
Are you going back again this
I'm
year?
going back. Yes, they didn't ask me not to, so I'm going.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
Kingston.
Oh, that's so good.
Mommy says the books that Gretchen shows are truly awesome, most of which have great messages and yes, sometimes even history, and you can get to know about other cultures too. Yeah, I was like, the book you read the other week, I was like, oh man, I love it. I left a comment about it because it was such a good book. I'm like, I didn't know about that lady. That was such a great story. Now I gotta go back and remember what the book was, but it was awesome.
Cut.
Yes, that was it.
Was
I loved
Cut.
that.
Yeah.
That was such a good book.
Lauren Reininger. She was
Yeah.
the one who invented animation in
Yes.
in
And that
movies.
multiplane camera and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
20 years before Disney.
Yep. And then Disney used the heck out of it. Florence says the written word is super powerful.
Super powerful.
Tiny Piggy asks, what did you start out with on live? So how about Gretchen, we'll go to you first. How did you start out live? You kind of mentioned that already, that you started out by reading books.
Well, I started out trying to showing my photographs.
Okay.
At some time, and doing that, so trying to do some editing, and it kind of morphed to I had a photo that matched a book with somebody had done a picture, and then I got into like demonstrating kind of. Before I started live streaming, I didn't even own a sketchbook. I would teach kindergartners how to draw, and they would always be able to do it because they could laugh at me because I was so bad. And it was like make all the goofs. And so I was showing people how to do this kind of stuff and it just kind of kept going on and on. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the challenges? Are you
I'm gonna ask David
ready for
about
those?
his
Yeah.
go live, and then we're gonna come to you, Gretchen. We're gonna get those challenges. So, David, what was your first kind of go live challenge or experience there?
Well, so it was just me with a webcam, and I had the Shure MV51, which was a condenser mic mounted on a mic stand, and just me playing the piano. I think it was around Christmas time. I was doing what's that Christmas challenge? Vlogmas.
Yes.
Vlogmas was the was the thing, and it was so bad because I had the sun. It was like about 8 o'clock, and the sun was coming through the windows behind me, and it was yeah. I had, this is one of the first times Doc called me out. He's like, Dave, I like what you're doing, but maybe you may want to move from the window behind you. It doesn't quite work. So I've since learned to control my lighting, and that's why I can come before you. And I have a dynamic mic now instead of condenser, so
Yeah.
that helps with the audio a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how I started.
And mine was, I started off with the tech news channel. I was in the middle of Lita and suddenly got the bug, and I said, I'm going live on YouTube for the first time. And I was going to do tech news, and nobody watched, but it's okay. So now, Gretchen, tell us about the challenge, some of the challenges you faced in your content creation journey.
Besides the hour-long editing on mute, and I was like, oh my gosh. I think it's still out there. I just left it. I learned early on to just leave the mistakes out there. It's part of having been a teacher for 35 years. You screw up, you don't get you just got to keep going, because you got 6-year-olds in front of you, and they just say what? Come on, keep going. So going live was always didn't feel that strange to me. Because it was like being in front of a classroom. I mean, I'm used to doing that for so many years. Just, you have to kind of just go live every day in a classroom. But what became challenging sometimes was some of the the technical aspects of, like, if I had the book, a physical book, was getting the aspect right for the camera to get to show the whole book, and was it in focus, and did it not blank out? Because what I had a horrible time with capture cards, so I stuck with Canon, which I have had Canon longer than I've had my husband, and we've been married for a long time. I met him in 1974. Okay, we got married in 77, and I had a Canon in 74 when I met him. So yeah. Anyway, but so that was getting through that, and I worked through those type of things. A big one that's for me now that is a challenge is the pronunciation in some of the books, because I read a lot of books that have different, indigenous languages. Oh my gosh. There are some tough words out there, and I completely mess them up, and oh well. I have that little bookmark for pronunciation, and I try to put the words in, and it will tell me. So some of those, let's see, what is there? Oh gosh, I opened myself up to this, and I love doing it. But early on, I asked my viewers to send in some of their art. We had done a challenge, and my granddaughter was helping me with it, and I challenged everybody to draw something and send it in to me. And it was so much fun. And then I had to figure out how to show it, because they emailed it to me. And now every Sunday, my viewers will send in their art to my email. And sometimes they don't send it in until, like, I just hit live. Yeah. And then I'll see it in the chat, and they'll go, Tamara sent her stuff in, and Tamara's in Australia, and I have to show it. And and it's like, she's a really good artist. And so it's like, okay, figuring out to drag it in and go to preview mode and working all of those things. It's a lot of moving parts. And sometimes it's I think the biggest challenge for me sometimes is to just take a deep breath and go, okay, one step at a time. Don't go too fast. You don't have to fill every gap. It'll be fine.
No, that's awesome. We
So
we misplaced David. I think he'll be back, but we misplaced him. He's saying be right, but he'll be right back. So we'll see.
we did.
Yep. We're gonna go back to the chat real quick because let's see. Lala said she had to leave us. Sven saying hi to Tiny. Hey, mommy guys says, oh, I'm so sad. I have to leave. I will watch replayed for Gretchen and David. I have to do my tech versus my guest. Yes, Lala. As I've always told Lala, always go do your show first. We'll be here. So please don't forget to give my love by sharing. Give some love by sharing and hitting the like button. Yes, thank you all so much for that. And give the rest of my friends. Johnny, Triple E, what's up, man? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, fam? Love the TikTok videos. Yeah, I've been enjoying, David, I've been enjoying your shorts as well. Your prayer time and everything, that's been great. I've really been enjoying that. Amy, happy to catch you all live. Hey, Amy. I'm here to be inspired. Hey, Mikey, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Yes, definitely. Thanks, Motif Music. That's wonderful, David Hunt. Yep, excited to hear more of your music.
Yeah.
Let's see. I wore my Yellow Crater Camp shirt this morning, too. She was my team captain, so. I remember when you were doing your Vlogmas, David. Oh, wow. How did that go? How did Vlogmas go for you? Because it did not go well for me. Oh, you're muted, sir. I don't know if it's on our side. Let's see.
No, it's my side. I muted so that I could escape.
Yeah.
I've been starting to drink a lot more water, and yeah, there
Stay
is
hydrated.
consequences.
We want you to stay hydrated.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for me, it was. I think it went okay. I learned a lot, and that's the thing. So when you do, live every day, you get incrementally better. Even for me, this August, I'm doing, 30 shorts in 30 days.
Wow.
And I've also been doing it on Instagram and TikTok. And it's that muscle, getting that muscle. I don't like the editing process, but I'm starting to get a little bit more familiar with it by doing it, right? Is by as the more you do it, the better you get at it, and then creating the content part of it becomes easier. So I would encourage anyone, if you ever find yourself doing a challenge like that, it's it's very good for you because you're exercising that muscle and getting to do something and stretching yourself and constantly learning. That's one of the things that I've always subscribed to, is that you always are going to be learning. And so by doing, that's part of the learning process. And so it's very important to get those reps in all the time. So for me, Vlogmas was what kept me going. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be here now, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I probably shouldn't say to be honest, because I want everything that I say to be honest by default. So I don't have to put the disclaimer at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my take on it. Just by doing it, it really helped me. So I kudos to the Vlogmas people for putting that on. Ecamm, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say it. It was Ecamm, and then the
Yeah.
Get Live crew.
Yeah. Gretchen, have you had any experience with Vlogmas? You kinda
Yes,
skipped it, or
I
you-
did. That was my first start with Vlogmas, and somewhere out there is the live that I did the night after I had my knee replacement surgery done in the morning. And I came home and went live because
Wow.
Vlogmas was going on. Of course, I couldn't miss.
Yeah.
and Paul Duncan will pull it up someplace. Doc will pull it up occasionally once just to laugh at how Gretchen bad. She is totally looped from having had surgery. But it's out, I just leave it out there. It's what it is. But I actually really enjoyed it. It was one of those kind of challenging things to do, and it's led it kind of guided me more toward the books than anything else, because there's so many wonderful holiday books, and I've met several of the authors of some of my and illustrators from some of my favorites, and I have a very large collection of signed picture books.
Wow.
From many, and I've met many of them. So it was fun to be able to bring that in and do it, and doing it consistently got me in that habit and helped me get a pattern of how I put my show together. So now I can put my show together pretty easily, because I create a opening video in Canva that's like 30 seconds long, that's related to the books. It's kind of the hint, and my thumbnail comes from that and everything, and it boom, boom, boom. So I do it. It's kind of how I start my Sunday and Thursdays now.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let's talk about first of all, let's go and do a show and tell and tell everybody where to go find you guys, because they need to be finding you. Let's see. First, I got all of us in the way, so move this over. Hang on, I got to fix this before it makes me crazy. Hello. Come on, move over. Oh, I have this scene locked. That will make a difference. Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll move all of us over here since it's going to fight me. So, all right, here we go. All right, yes. Through the magic of television, we're all moving across there. Okay, so anyway, this is Gretchen's channel, Images by Gretchen. Also, you can click on her link. She's also on Instagram, and definitely you want to go here. Wow, things moving around. There we go. All right, so you definitely want to go here and watch her great stories. I really love the book cut that she read, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before. That was such a good book. So definitely subscribe to her channel, because you don't want to miss her stories and different projects, the different artwork that everybody presents on her, sends to her to be on her show. So that's really great stuff. And then also, you want to go and subscribe to David's channel, because the music he does in the mornings is just great. His short series he's doing right now, like you say, he's also doing that on TikTok, but you just watch it on YouTube. It's probably the same video, isn't it, David?
It's the same video, yeah.
Okay, so just watch it on YouTube. He needs the views over there. So we all do. We need views. So go and watch it. And I just really enjoy your interpretations of different songs, and definitely your faith-based songs as well, being a person of faith myself. Really just enjoy that. And your talent is amazing, and I think you have a great voice. So so keep singing.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
definitely enjoy that. So everybody go. The links are in the description on this video. I also have their social media stuff, so you want to reach out to them. So definitely go and find those folks. And now we want to talk about the last topic I want to talk about. So, please, David, do you have something?
No, I was just looking at the number of videos on my channel. It says 779 videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
The majority of those,
No.
are live streams.
Yeah.
Right there, total lifetime. Yikes!
I can relate. I have a lot of videos on my channel as well. So, somebody said, "You got a lot of videos, Roy. How come you don't have more subscribers?" That hurt my feelings, but that's okay. I didn't tell them it hurt my feelings. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. As long as I'm doing this for fun, it's okay. So, so the next.
Listen,
the next
if you put a hall with 898 people in it,
yeah,
that's a lot of people.
It is a lot.
That's
of people.
a lot. So don't
well,
discount small beginnings as well as.
Yeah.
So don't look at someone else's middle or ending, and say, well, how come? No, if you put 898 people in a room,
yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of people.
It is, and the other part is the subscribers are a vanity metric. It's not really. It doesn't mean people don't like you. There's a lot of people watch my videos when I go look at my analytics that don't subscribe.
Right.
They obviously like my stuff because they're watching it. So, it's same for you guys. I'm sure you have a lot of people when you go look at analytics. It's like, why was 30-something% of my folks not subscribed? They're watching my videos. Subscribe. So it's a vanity thing. So next, kind of what's next? What is the next challenges that you have for your creative endeavors? Because that's another part that we can all learn from is like, what are you going to challenge yourself with? Is there something big you have planned? You're just going to keep on keeping on, and just kind of tell us what's next. And Gretchen, I'm going to start with you.
Well, I opened another channel called On Camera. And so I'm kind of shifting my photographs and photography stuff to that area. And I'll be doing some editing and some things and that area. But Images by Gretchen is still a lot to do with the books and the messages that they have and the authors and illustrators and all the things that are out there that are not just in the United States, but in other countries. When I went to Botswana and South Africa, I was able to pick up picture books there. Wow. And of course, they're like, what? And I'm like, yes, we have to go here. We have to go to a bookstore. And so I was able to bring those back and read those stories. And that's kind of a part of a direction I'd like to go. During November, I do what's called NodPodPomo, which is National Podcast Post Month. And I have a playlist that's called Book Bites from the Book Lady. And that is chapter books. And I read just a little bit of it. And I just read a bite of it. And they're some of my favorite chapter books ever. And like, I can recite the opening to Winn-Dixie, and I can because Winn-Dixie and all of those I can literally, my daddy, the preacher, sent me to the store to get tomatoes and milk, and I came home with a dog. That's the opening line. I mean, what? You got to read the book. Yeah. And so to find more, and highlight those. And so I have a lot of little shorts and stuff I could put out, and little things I have a lot of video content that I've made that I would like to get motivated to put into shorts or other kind of videos, but somehow it gets lower on my list than reading books and hanging out with my grandkids and taking photos.
Yeah. It's easier to do the fun things first. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's sorry.
Yeah, that old saying about eat that frog.
Yes,
if you had to eat a frog every day, eat the biggest and the nastiest one first, and then, how's that working for you?
I'm supposed to eat more frogs at work. I always want to do the easy stuff and avoid the difficult stuff, but it's got to be done, so I have to do it. So, yeah. David, how about you? What's coming up next for you,
so
sir?
Talking about frogs. So this house that we moved into has a little pool, and there are critters that end up in the pool. It's like, this pool ain't for you. So we're constantly fishing them out and putting them back in their environment, because it's like, go over there and chill. I want to swim, not you. Anyway, no, it's fine. But what's next for me is I have been wanting to do some more of the technical stuff. How do I get my keyboard to sound the way it sounds? Because it didn't sound like that when I first started. And so there's been some evolution in that way. Content more for musicians, just to help them get over the line, to start sharing their music, writing songs, the production part of it. There are I've done like a few streams on the production side, and I started doing a series on it and stopped because I didn't really set those goals in mind, and write them down. Sometimes you get the juices from, it's like, yeah, I'm going to do this, but then you don't really follow through. Write it down, put it on paper so that it can be, front of mind, right? Tip of tongue. What does Stephanie Garcia say? It's tip of tongue. It's, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, making sure that I get that down, and as I know Kirk is gonna come for me next month, so I gotta make sure that I know. Say Florence is she's in our mastermind, so
Yeah.
just making sure that those things get done, because I think it's very important, as I was saying earlier, shepherding your story and making sure that you are giving people the tools to get over faster than you did, right? I want my kids to get over faster than I did. I don't want them to make the same mistakes. That's what, parents are there for, to guide the next generation along. And so if I could do it and get the someone else to be where I am faster, then they can do more and make the world a better place and make a difference in the world. Gretchen, you're doing that with the books and the reading, and even now with this new channel that you're getting ready to put stuff out on. And you know, Roy, you're really blazing the trail, with these meetups and giving people the opportunity to share their stories with your community. And I think it's something that I started doing some of that as well on my channel, but I think it's something that I'll have to get back to doing more as well, to getting other creators that have been where I am and are farther along, and get them to tell their story. So I'm looking forward for some of that, and look for some of that to come out soon.
Yeah, that'd be great. I was
Yeah.
gonna say behind the scenes where you tell us how you hook up all your gear would probably be an awesome video.
Yeah.
Here's a behind the
Absolutely.
scenes where this time we're just gonna talk about the technical aspects of how I get the piano to sound great. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's check on our audience out here. There's a few stragglers came in here. Let's see. Tiny Piggy saying hi to Mikey. Awesome Wood Things. Matt Haas saying he subscribed to both of y'all. So
Thank you.
yes, but I
Yeah.
subscribed to both of them
Thank you,
first, Matt. You were late.
I,
Just gonna tell you that. Sorry. So.
you haven't sent
funny.
any artwork in yet for Sunday night show and tell.
Oh, I haven't. Oh, yeah, I haven't.
Nope,
I haven't.
yeah,
I'd have to
Sunday
say my
night show and
daughter's.
tell.
My daughter is the
No.
artist of residence in my
Yeah,
house.
yeah, like I said,
So.
I didn't own a sketchbook before I started this. I was convinced I couldn't draw. I just finished building an entire art studio in our backyard, and I have
Wow.
I literally I draw on and I paint in front of people now, which is totally weird that I would do that. I have 3 older sisters that are extremely talented artists, and I was always convinced that I couldn't do anything like that. I was the photographer, but I can do both. So it's just you just got to try.
Yeah. I was gonna say I do some of the most amazing stick figure art.
Well, I want to see them. Show and tell. Stick figure. We'll have a stick figure night in your honor. I'm sending it out to the bucket fillers. We're having a stick figure night. Linda will be very happy.
Yeah, I will want to do. I've
That's
been wanting to do a
awesome.
comic strip, so I'll have to do like a comic strip. So, a couple more. Yeah, Florence out here saying, "Yep, September is coming, David. Yeah, you gotta get ready. The 4 horsemen."
Oh man, yes. Yeah.
She says you don't want to see any of her artwork. Yeah, me too. Yeah, Johnny, you gonna do work or you gonna be on Florence's show? So that's which one of those two? Yeah, you guys should meet. Florence and Johnny, you guys should meet if you don't know each other. So, all right. The stick figure competition. Yeah, Johnny wants to be in the stick figure competition too.
Yay.
So we got to show up on Sunday nights, and we'll get Gretchen to show us how to send in the artwork. I'll try to get it in before you go live. a little bit,
I have gotten really good at dragging it off my email. I just drag it in. I have the regulars all have their own scene. I drag it into their scene. New people, I have a template. I pull it in. I'm good with that now. I'm like, oh, well, it's like turning your assignment in late. What am I going to do? Put them in virtual detention? No.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Any last thoughts? You guys have any last thoughts you want to share before we call it a night?
I just really appreciate you inviting me on this. And Roy, I love watching all of the things that you do and how conversational and comfortable you make all of this. It's just really kind of fun. And I so appreciate what Ecamm and all of us. I met David through this. I've met you. The number of people that we've met through this that I've never found anything quite like this, that you have. Yes, you have small communities, but you have a huge neighborhood.
Yes.
I mean, and it's just amazing. And so that's what thanks.
David, how about you, sir?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for curating this experience for us today. I was really nervous. I was like, oh my goodness, because Images by Gretchen. Oh my God, what am I going to say? But you really set us at ease and really made it seamless and smooth. And I just want to encourage everyone that's like listening right now to not hold back on yourself. Give yourself the space to do something special, and that would only come with you going live or creating a video and curating your story, shepherding your stewarding the story is another word, to make a difference in the world. You'd never know if your story could be what inspires someone to do something great. And so I want to say kudos to you, Roy, for this space that you've carved out for yourself on YouTube, and it's been a pleasure to be a part of the stream today and to just have a small say in the outcome. So thank you, and to everyone else, I wish you all the best. Yeah,
just thank you so much, both of you, being on the show. My whole point is to go find creators that I really love and enjoy, and I think that the community we get inspired by, and you guys are both very inspirational, and so I just really appreciate you being on the show. So thank you for that. And we got people saying
and you have a great shirt. You have a great shirt, so why
I do, yeah.
Creator Camp.
Yeah, at Creator Camp. So yeah, I'm going to be at this year's Creator Camp. So are you guys going to be there?
Yes.
That's fantastic. So yeah. So we'll all.
I was like the 5th or 6th person to register.
I was pretty quick. Hey, I was like, okay, sign up. Yeah, I didn't want to be the one that missed out. So yeah, I'm hoping my wife gets to come with me, so we get to see that. She won't be at camp, but yeah, I don't know. We're talking about going to Boston the weekend after camp's over just to hang out. So, all right. Let's see. There's a couple final thoughts here. We'll catch a couple folks. Let's see. Tiny Piggy says, thanks so much for sharing. Tiny Piggy, you got to get that. It's time for you to start that YouTube channel. It is. Great show. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. Thank you so much, all my friends in the chat. Thank you for coming out tonight and hanging out with us. And if you guys would stick around just a minute, I've got to do that call to action thing that you're supposed to do. Let's see. So, let's see. First up, I must ask you to subscribe this channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you really like this stuff, then subscribing, make sure you know when I'm going live next. And here's the outro. So YouTube's going to put a video right where I'm at, and YouTube's always right, so you should watch that next. Okay? Whatever it puts there, you should watch that next. And of course, I appreciate you subscribe to the channel. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Bye.